Hi everyone, my name is Emily Palmer and this is my second book review. So the two books that I've chosen for this week are Crow Call by Lois Lowry and One Morning in Maine by Robert McCloskey. And I chose these two books because I just thought they were very interesting. I really liked the emphasis that they had on family, and I thought that they were both books that I could really see introducing into my future classroom. So the first one is Crow Call, which is written by Lois Lowry, who is also the author of The Giver, which many of you probably know. It's illustrated by Bagram Ibatuline, and it won the Newbery Award. So this one is an autobiographical picture book. So it's actually written based on Lois Lowry's own story with her father, and the grade level is 2nd through 4th. So in this book, Lois Lowry recounts a story of traveling around with her dad going crow hunting when he had just gotten back from World War II. So in the book, she's a little girl and she's still kind of unsure about calling her dad dad because up through her life this far, she hasn't really had that fatherly relationship because he's been away. But throughout the book, there are lots of little charming experiences that helps her to see him as the father figure that he wants to be. And they go crow hunting, and Lois doesn't really want to hurt the crows, so they end up just learning how to make crow calls and talking to them instead. And so my first lesson standards are science and technology. So throughout this book, it talks a lot about crows and their environment and how they affect the environment. And though crows aren't an endangered species, I saw the opportunity to do a lesson based on endangered species. So there are plenty of crows. Don't worry about the crows, but there are many other animals that do need our help. So I figured the teacher will model a Google Slides presentation to spread awareness of specific endangered species, their environment, why they're endangered, and what we can do to help these species and their environment as well. And then after the students see this presentation modeled, they'll break off into groups and research their own endangered species using worldwildlife.org's list. And this list is very good, complete, and it has levels of just how endangered each species is. So if students want to pick a species that's more endangered and needs more help, then that's outlined for them quite well. And they'll design their own Google Slides presentation exhibiting the information that they learned. And the presentation will include pictures and facts about their animals. And then at the end, they're going to show off their work by having a presentation night, inviting parents, friends, anybody who wants to listen. And they can even have a place for these people to donate to animal resource centers that they might find within their presentation, so that not only are they practicing presentation skills, but they're also actually doing something to help these animals. My lesson 2 standards are art and writing, and both of these lessons are written for 4th grade. So Crow Call by Lois Lowry, since it is a tale from Lowry's own life, I figured that students can take some time to reflect on their lives and choose a short story, anything that they want that's happened to them, that's true, that had an impact on their lives, and they can tell about it. So like in Crow Call, it doesn't have to be an incredibly dramatic story. It could be just a fun day spent with their father, like Lois Lowry wrote about. So after the students come up with this idea of what they want to tell, they create an infographic based on the story that helps them tell the story. And this can include pictures, words, anything they want, as long as there are connections to be drawn. And so students will, after they finish, get in small groups and explain why their story is important to them and why they chose specific art designs to tell the story. At the end, students will write down 4 things they learned about each other and about the importance of pictures and the place that pictures play in telling stories for an exit slip. But before they turn in the exit slip, they'll have a quick class-wide discussion about the things they learned, just to bounce ideas off each other and get as much from the lesson as possible. So here's an example of my infographic. Mine is supposed to tell a funny story that happened to me when I was 10 years old, when I was climbing my neighbor's tree, and my other neighbor came to cut it down, and he almost cut off my foot because he got really impatient because I was taking too long to climb down, and started cutting down the tree while I was in it. So my other neighbor ran out, and he was like, what are you doing? You can't do this. And he helped me down, and I ran home because I was so scared. So see how my infographic contains pictures, story, the title, the name, and different pictures I thought for personalization. And I would have the students do something similar. The second book is One Morning in Maine, which is written by Robert McCloskey, illustrated by Robert McCloskey as well. It won the Caldecott Medal. It's a fictional picture book, and the grade level is 2nd through 4th. Thank you for listening.